Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Beguiled by Books. Today, I've got for you 5 books that I think will make really great screen adaptations. Let's get started. I read a lot of books. I typically read around 100 books a year. And when I get to read so many books, there are some books that are just books that should be books. They are wonderful on the page. You can really dive into them and just love them for what they are. And other books can maybe be enhanced with a screen adaptation. A lot of times people don't like when books get adapted to the screen, but I think they can actually improve stories depending on the story. And these are 5 of my favorites that I've read that I would love to see as TV adaptations, or that I would love to see as screen adaptations, whether it's TV or a movie. The first one is actually a nonfiction book. It's called The Fish That Ate the Whale. And this book I found really challenging to read because there were so many characters and so many locations, and they were moving, and they had people that worked for them, and there were all these components and all of these webs going on. And well, I liked the story and I wanted to like the story even more. I think this story told on screen would be way more compelling than the book. I think the visual aspect of what was going on in the early 20th century as this, character rose to power, all of the things happening in Central and South America with the banana farms and banana plantations. I just think the visual of that would be amazing to watch and probably really enhance the story and make that story even more compelling. So The Fish That Ate the Whale, I think, would be great on a screen. Into the fiction space, a story that I would love to see translated to the screen is a short novella called Our Wives Under the Sea. Again, this is a super short book, but the imagery in this book was incredible. It's a little spooky, a little bit like horror, and also a love story. And with the right casting and direction and cinematography and all the components that go into adapting something to the screen, I think this story would absolutely knock your socks off. It will as a book. It's great as a book, but I think with the visual component, the parts that happen under the sea, I think it could be so creepy and weird and wonderful. And I hope someone who wants to make movies or TV is out there and you want to read this book and adapt it to the screen. A sci-fi book that I read that I think would be an amazing screen adaptation is This Is How You Lose the Time War. Kind of like Our Wives Under the Sea, this book is ultimately a love story, and it takes place because there are 2 time agents that are rivals. So you've got the enemies to lovers, you've got the romantic aspect, but now you also have a time traveling aspect with different timelines and different histories and different worlds and planets and all of these interwoven components. I think there's so much that could be done with this on screen, whether it's a TV show or a movie. You could do it as a TV show and expand it and do all kinds of crazy stuff. You could do it as just a standalone movie. There are so many avenues this story could take, and I would love to see this on the screen. Another kind of spookier book that I think would make a great screen adaptation is Mexican Gothic. I really enjoyed the story, and the writing was fine, but the visuals I think could be truly enhancing to the story. If you are someone who has a light idea of things going on in your mind, you don't maybe have very specific visions, this story I think would translate so well because you've got like creepy settings and homes and these weird mushroom things that are going on and stuff happening in the walls. And then, of course, just the colors and the dynamic of how this character goes from her, upper class home in Mexico to this very creepy place. Super cool. I think it would translate wonderfully to the screen. I would 100% go watch that. The last book that I will recommend that I think would make a great screen adaptation, I believe is being already adapted to the screen, and that is the book Night Bitch. And anytime there's a title like that, I got to put it on my TBR. I finally got to read it, and it was really weird and quirky and compelling. And I do think this would be wonderfully adapted to the screen because there's so much happening with little pieces of the puzzle. There aren't necessarily like big events happening all the time. It's not what I would call an action-packed book, but the journey the main character goes on and all of these little things that build and build and build over time, illustrated through a TV or a movie. Oh, I think it would be amazing. I did some Googling. Last I saw, this is going to be a movie. I believe Amy Adams is set to be the main character. I will absolutely watch that when it comes out and really looking forward to it. What books have you read that you want to see adapted to the screen? Tell me everything. Tell me the book. Who do you want to have as the cast in it? I want to know everything. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. Please drop some comments below and let me know. And as always, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day.